Listen, I don't want to be that guy, but I was sitting listening to Finance Minister Tito Mbowene's budget speech yesterday, and I got to thinking, what is the South African government actually good at? I mean, is there anything? I don't think so. Like education. Look at the shocking fall off in the number of kids who start school and those that get out the other end with a valid matric certificate. Or healthcare, the horror stories from the public sector hospitals. Or what about policing? When last did you call the cops because you had something rank happening at home? I don't think so. Private security is the only way to go. Or what about the state-owned enterprises? You know, electricity. That's going well, the electricity utility. Overspending and in a general state of advanced bankruptcy. Or the state-owned airline. Or the transport utility. They can't even collect money well or properly. SARS is in the process of collapsing. They can't even give away money without incurring some kind of a disaster. I'm talking about the social security grants. They cannot even create the environment for successful business expansion and investment. This bogey around expropriation without compensation has wrecked the property market in this country and looks like it's doing the same thing for the stock market for all of our listed companies. That's what happens. But there are a few things that the South African government is good at, if you really think about it. Well, they're good at supporting their local BMW and Mercedes-Benz branches. They're pretty good at spending money on consultants. Yes, we've seen in recent times reports about, R1 billion there and 200 billion rand there spent on firms like McKinsey's, Gartner, SAP and the likes, KPMG, throwing money away after good. And here's another thing. The one and only group of significant beneficiaries from the government in the last 20 years has been public servants. It's not that there are too many of them. There are. It's that they continuously increase their benefits and their packages. Meanwhile, the South African fiscal balance continues to tip ever more negative, and the total GDP to debt ratio is spiraling out of control. Not good. Wow, this next clip, let me tell you, this is the wrongest thing I've seen on social media in a long time. It's called the Falling Stars Challenge. You know, like they have these challenges where young kids post pictures of themselves doing wacky stuff. In Mandarin, it's known as the Flaunt Your Wealth Challenge. I mean, take a look what's happening over my shoulder here. Literally, the way it works is that people, youngsters that is, wealthy ones, photograph themselves basically spilling out of cars, like they tripped as they were getting out of the car, and the contents of their handbags, sometimes, all the luxury goods, even wads of cash are basically spilling out on the road. I mean, there you go. There's a picture of a photographer who's actually in there, getting close, getting the best shot. I mean, that girl has really done it beautifully. Fantastic image there. This is like the nuttiest thing of Chinese youth kids. I mean, people, this is getting out of control. Wow, speaking of falling, here's another one. A Canadian rapper whose name is James McMurray fell off the wing of an airplane while he was making a music video.
Ouch.
Ouch. So, I don't know why, but for some reason this particular music video involved him recording himself as he walked out on the wing of a Cessna plane while it was busy flying. But instead, as he got further and further towards the wing, the Cessna went into a kind of a nasty tumble, which the pilot was unable to recover from. The man hit the ground before he was able to deploy his parachute. Ouch. So, I don't know. Maybe all the other rappers should just stick to the conventional format, which is to film themselves sitting next to a pool, wearing fur, surrounded by semi-naked ladies. All those boring, unimaginative, uncreative rappers. Just do like they do. Right, finally, electric cars. Those are awesome, don't you think? I think it's the future of mobility. Lots more fun to drive than the crappy old internal combustion engine, I'm told. Tesla's been doing well. They're in the news this week because they're exceeding all of their targets on that fabulous Model 3. But there's another wacky inventor, Sir James Dyson. He's an Englishman who plans to make an electric car. Now, Dyson, most people will know, is famous for its hair dryers and fans that are used in the office and at home. Pretty cool stuff though. Has anybody really seen what the cars look like? I haven't. So pictures like these have been surfacing on the web where basically it looks as though it's a vacuum cleaner, as it's called here in South Africa, which has been sort of repurposed as a car. So I suppose at this point, these vehicles which will be made in Singapore, the only remaining issue is, will they suck or will they blow?